there's some like weird ass donkey deers around. I don't know what they're called, but they look like a donkey and a deer mixed. They kind of have some like horns a little, but like, yeah, I don't know what they're called. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whatever it is, wherever you are. Hello. I am currently in southern Alberta. I am driving towards the East Coast. More specifically, I am driving on the Red Coat Trail. This is a 1,300 kilometer road trail. We can call it a trail, sure. Kind of became famous when in 1874, the Northwest Mounted Police, which is basically now Canada's RCMP, they marched from Fort Dufferin to Fort Whoopop, which is Fort Dufferin is somewhere in the middle of Manitoba, to basically just south of Lethbridge. I've never heard of this thing. A friend of mine mentioned that I should check it out. I figured we might as well take the scenic route. We made it to, I don't even know where I am, but I found a dirt lot at a junction of an intersection. So I'm coming from this direction and then it continues on. And I'm gonna be going in that direction for a bit. And then I'm gonna go eventually this way. But over here where the van is, there's also this road. I'm really curious what those mountains are over there. They kind of just like showed up out of nowhere on the horizon, and it looks really nice. But anywho, this is our spot for the night. It's been incredibly quiet, and I've only seen one car pass by, and that was like right when I parked. So I think we're in for a really quiet night, to be honest. Sunset. The year is 1873. American wolf hunters and whiskey bootleggers. Jesus Christ, that scared the shit out of me. There's a woodpecker pecking on wood. They're all up in Canada, but up in these lands, up in the Cypress Hills here, the indigenous people probably spending a night out, probably just having a fire and with the fam and the things you do around the fire. It's late at night. These American wolf hunters, illegal whiskey traders, bunch of thugs, they catch wind of this fire, this smoke perhaps that's coming off the fire of the First Nations up here, and they went and raided their camps and killed them. That became known as the Cypress Hill Massacre. In 1874, Sir John A. Macdonald said, "We have to assert our sovereignty over these lands." There was a recent battle at the time between Montana and this part of Canada, and you know, Sir John A. Macdonald said, "I'm sending these Northwest Mounted Police, these red coats, hence the red coat trail that I've been on for the last 24 hours or so. These red coat police come out here and they set up shop over here at Fort Walsh. This is one of their outposts. These Royal Canadian Mounted Police, their duty, their job was to come out here and enforce law and order, to basically, you know, be judge and jury and get rid of the thugs and the brutalism and all these things, right? And sadly, you know, that led into a lot of conflict between the Northwest Mounted Police and the Indigenous, the First Nations people that roamed these lands since God knows when, right? And the kind of the irony behind this whole thing is that, you know, their job was to bring peace and you could say prosperity in some sense, because part of the reason why this route was established was obviously to take control of the land and the resources and whatnot, but also to make sure that goods can pass through, and farming and all these types of things, right? There was a big economic interest in making sure that these routes were safe to travel, and for settlers that wanted to come out here, it was safe to do so, right? On the flip side, imagine being out here and these are your lands and now people are claiming them and they're saying that, no, these are mine. Like, how can that be? You know, that's impossible. So there was a lot of conflict between the Northwest Mounted Police and the First Nations, and you know, that's part of the reason why residential schools came around, and that's part of the reason why, you know, after some time the Northwest Mounted Police ended up stealing children and indoctrinating them into these schools to assimilate them into society and get rid of their cultural heritage and their way of life and their livelihoods, right? And that's really sad. What a shame that is, you know? On the one hand, they're trying to do the right thing, but then on the other, that thing caused so many people so much hurt, and it still does to this day. I guess the intent, perhaps, is good to stop these kinds of things from happening, like the brutal massacre over here in the Cypress Hills. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with y'all, and I was just thinking about that coming here, and I'm gonna try and actually make it to the massacre site. I think you can walk this road all the way up there, but let's go check this out. A little horsey just popped out of nowhere. wonder if he's friendly. Should I go say hi? I don't know if I'm a superstitious kind of guy. Maybe a little bit. But this whole area, they say that is, this is a place of pilgrimage, which makes sense. And this place is sacred because the spirits of the people that were murdered on this land are still in these hills. I got goosebumps when I said that. But I wanted to show you something funny. That horse came out of nowhere. And it's coming this way. But there's also a horse right over there. And that's where the massacre happened. I feel like that was a really interesting experience. They were like following me for a little bit. That red one came running back past, and then it turned out to be a total of 4 horses, all different colors, and really pretty too, but kind of a weird energy. The people that massacred that Nakota tribe over those hills over there, they were never caught. And that, you could argue, left a very sour taste in the mouths of the First Nations that wanted to trust these police officers to do their job. I guess that's our little history lesson here today. Thank you for coming with me to Fort Walsh. I hope you like this. I am literally in the middle of nowhere. And somehow my window smashed. I wonder if it was a rock, but I don't think so. Probably just take it out. Hey, is probably the best idea. That way I don't have glass from going everywhere. My fear is that it's gonna explode somewhere on the highway, and that's gonna be even worse. So I don't really know if I should just like take the whole thing out, but then I have even a bigger hole in the van. So we might just leave it in, and we might just make it out to Regina, figure it out there. But the shitty part is I now can't leave the van. What are you gonna do? Okay, so here's the plan. I'm going to Glassmasters in Regina tomorrow. Yeah, we're gonna start heading towards Regina, but not in a very fast manner because the road's beautiful. We're already out here. There's no point to just ignore it all. Also, one more thing, not a superstitious guy, but I told you there was an eerie vibe around. Hey, I'm just saying, maybe my visit was not welcomed. So I just wrapped up over at Glassmasters here in Regina. Luckily our boy Jim, who is the manager here at Glassmasters, spoke to my old roommate, one of my good buddies, Theo. He was able to hook up, I guess, some Lexon. They cut it up and slapped it on and called it a day. I currently have window that you just can't cut through it with a knife. So I think that was the biggest thing that I was looking forward to. I just didn't want to leave the van anywhere for a long period of time because I don't know what would have happened, you know, and my whole life's in there. So